There's a diet system that people within my company built over the last 5 years. I've been rolling it out on social media for about 3 years. It helped me get sober, and it helped me repair my damage that I had when I had alcohol cirrhosis. My blood work's back to normal. I'm 54. I have a very balanced diet. It's very creative. It's a behavioral modification system. So it helps people with alcohol, or it helps people even who don't have an alcohol problem, who want to keep their weight managed and get closer to their BMI, their normal BMI. Okay? Body mass index. So one of the formulas is the +2 plus a -1 equals +1. So it's 2 positives, 1 negative equals a +1. If you look at your life as a teeter-totter, right, you're on one edge where we're drinking a lot, eating a lot, and we're in a bad mood a lot. That's the golden triangle. The top point is our mood. Bottom left is what we're eating, food. Bottom right is substance. Are we drinking? And on this side of the triangle, the teeter-totter, we're all in on all of it. Eating a lot of bad food, always in a bad mood, drinking a lot. And then we get saved by going to the other side of the pendulum, and the teeter-totter, and we're perfect. We're in the gym, we're not drinking, we're eating healthy, we're being nice to everybody, and we're bouncing back and forth our whole life. So it's going from a 3 negative to a 3 positive and back. And we're yo-yoing up and down, emotional anxiety. You need to be in the middle. That's the 2-to-1 ratio. 2 positive, 1 negative. See, how it works is your edges are negatives. So people with addiction, our edges are negative. So right when you get to the bar at home, right, you're going to have a drink. Or even at the bar at Chili's. Bartender, open the tab, give me a beer. And when you close the tab, give me another beer before you close me out. You're drinking on the edges. You actually slow down in the middle. Right? That's the opposite of balance. If you were to not get your drink right when you get to the bar or at home, or have one right at the end like the non-alcoholic does, they're just getting water in the beginning, right? And then at the end, they're just getting water refills or coffee refills with their dessert. And in the middle, during dinner, they ordered 1 glass of wine with their steak. In the middle, they're not drinking on the edges. You slow down in the middle because you're already drunk. You're drinking on the edges. It's the same thing with overreacting. We overreact, then we settle down in the middle. No, the pressure needs to be put in the middle. Just like if we're on a teeter-totter, if I'm 100 pounds and you're 200 pounds, it's going to be off balance. But if you put 400 or 500 pounds of sand right in the middle, we parallel plane out, and now we have balance because it's in the pressure. So your addiction should be in the middle, balanced. 1 glass of wine a day theory. I didn't drink when I got to the bar. When, a Friday night at Chili's. I didn't drink at the end. I was just having dessert. I had 1 glass of wine with my steak in the middle. Alcoholics, totally different. We're drinking our ass off, 3-4 drinks right when we get to the bar, and right at the end, and we're slowing down in the middle. Okay? So, what we need to do is the non-alcoholic. This is an advanced video. I'm going to probably spend another 3 minutes explaining this, okay? Thanks for watching. Okay? So, if you look at that, look at time as a 3-point system. Look at that teeter-totter. The edges are a point and the middle's a point. 1, 2, 3. Think of time as 1, 2, 3. Think of your day from 6 to noon, noon to 6 p.m., 6 p.m. to midnight. You're sleeping in the other zone, right? So think about the edges, okay? Your edges are negative and your middle's positive. We got to switch that. Your edges have to be positive. No drinking on the edges, 1 negative in the middle. Right? So that's the 2-to-1 concept. 2 positive, 1 negative. But you're on a 3 negative. There's so much more to this. So let me roll back to how we do the food pairing. And I want to give you this concept. So we pair a raw fruit or vegetable serving, non-salted, a whole food like an egg, or a water hydration to every 6 grams of fat we eat, and for every 300 milligrams of sodium we consume. So if you get beef jerky at 7-Eleven, you didn't get the fat. You've been a good boy? Well, maybe, but you got 1,200 milligrams of sodium. So you got to do 3 food pairings. So I would eat that with an apple, orange, and maybe half a bottle of water. Right? And then the next day, when I go get the almonds in the bag that has 24 grams of fat, I'll do the same thing. Think about it. I got to do 4 food pairings, 4 times 6. I pair a raw fruit and vegetable or water to every 6 grams of fat I eat. There's 4 sets in those almonds. So I'll get the almonds, I'll drink a whole water, that's 2 food pairings, probably get an egg with it and an orange. Look how, I didn't get just the almonds, baked chips, beef jerky, and a Diet Coke. We got to get away from that. And so one of the things that I want to bring up, this is a sobriety technique, this is why we're having this video right here. I would like every one of you who has addiction with food, mood, or substance. Anger addiction, anxiety addiction, food addiction, alcohol addiction. I want you to do one thing. This is behavioral modification. I didn't go to college for this. I'm a creative guy. I don't like to read either. I just learn from people. I learned from my own program. A lot of smart people worked with me over time, and I'm picking things up, sharing it with you. You share things with me. We're always a team together. That's how we learn. That's how we win, right? So basically, think of the first 10 minutes of every hour from now on, okay? I don't want you to smoke, do any drugs, including prescription, like even Benadryl, and none of that. No drinking anything over 300 milligrams sodium, or eating anything that has over 300 milligrams sodium, eating anything over 6 grams of fat, any type of substance, no nicotine, no caffeine, no sugar, in the first 10 minutes of every hour for the next 30 days. Now, you're going to be real super unsuccessful with this, but this is a very good approach because it makes you have to work for things. And we're only doing it in a small capacity. Nobody wants to do this for an hour. Okay? Everybody wants to quit drinking. Well, if you want to quit drinking, you got to learn to quit drinking for 10 minutes. So let me explain what I'm saying. If you can't drink and do all that stuff for the first 10 minutes of an hour, that's fine. But let's look at the food, right? So if you're drinking a beer at, 5:55, you got to put it down till 6:11. If you're smoking a cigarette and you just started at 5:55, put it down. What we're learning to do is stand up for ourselves. It's kind of a journaling system. It creates, and we always know there's 10 minutes every hour, right? We always know it's coming up, so it keeps us aware. Then we have to take the action, right? People who follow my program, what's the third module? Awareness, action, accountability. First module is the golden triangle. Mood, food, right? Substance. Second module is the 3 hows. How quickly is one habit? How much is the second habit? How often is the third habit, right? And then the 3 A's, awareness, action, accountability, right? So what we're doing is we're intercepting our subconscious mind with this. This is the behavior modification. And we know that there's a cue coming up, a signal that's going to, there's something that is going to require an action. And that's that 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock time period that our brain will continue to remember. Because alcoholics don't like to journal. So I turn this into a mathematical model almost, me personally, because it's easy to track, it's clever, it's creative. We're using math, we're using simple stuff, we're doing food pairing. There's no way you can say no to it. I didn't put all this in a 50-page book where you're going to say, oh, I'll read Scott's book a year from now. We're getting to work today. Okay? So, because it's fun, it's creative, and we're winning, we're looking and feeling better. That's the concept. So we take that awareness, action, accountability, okay? And what we want to do is, let's say that take a bag of chips, for example, and I'm going to do more education on this first 10 minutes. Don't drink, don't eat bad food, don't eat bad salt, don't eat candy, don't chew, don't do anything in the first 10 minutes in the hour. And you're going to catch yourself because you're going to find and I would score a point every time you're successful. You might score 5, 6, 7 points a day, right? So if you can score 150 points a month, you're having a good month. That's how math runs the world. Score those 5 points. That means you're putting time and distance between your bad food, bad mood, and bad substances, right? And we're doing it using time intervals, and we're counting, and we're using food pairing, and we're providing forgiveness. So these are the protocols, and I'll keep telling you and rolling out the criteria and the instructions, okay? So let's say you get a bag of chips at 6:05 that you want to eat. And Scott said, hey, don't eat anything over 300 milligrams of sodium. Okay, well, a bag of baked Lay's has, I think, 250 milligrams sodium per serving. So at 6:05, you want some chips, you can only have 1 serving until 6:11. Because if you have 2 servings, it goes. See how that gives you a choice? See where now you're standing up for yourself and you're putting time and distance? You might go, oh, it's only 5 minutes. You don't even know how to do it for 5 minutes. That's what I'm teaching you. Then you can put a day in between eating it. But you got to learn it 5 minutes at a time. So what we learned in this example is we have a choice. We can say no to the whole bag of chips because we don't want to go over the 300 milligram sodium protocol for the first 10 minutes in the hour. Or we can have 1 bag of chips and learn 1 serving. Because it stays under 300, we can learn what that feels like. But then we can eat the rest of the bag in, let's say, 5 minutes. So we're actually taking a 5-minute break, and we're doing it with our own conscious control. That's how you beat addiction. You don't do it by gaining 10 pounds and going to keto.